Hey guys, BixWeir, roadrooter.com. I am in the greenhouse today, but it's freezing again here in Oakland, California. Struggling with the plants. They're doing all right, but not great. I'm not an expert gardener, not even close. A couple things I can grow okay because you stick them in the soil and you water them and they grow. Those are the easy ones. But there's pruning, there's fertilizer, there's all kinds of stuff for a lot of the other ones. And the temperature of my area, usually it's, we have mild winters and mild summers, but at least you can count on it being fairly warm in the summer. And it's freezing right now, and we just got off a hot spell, and now it's a cold spell, so... And I can go to the grocery store and pick up tomatoes and everything else for cheap still, but not always. That won't always be the case. What I want to talk about today is this. The Silver Eagle. This is a nice dirty Silver Eagle. It was clearly used as money. Actually, this is the one I keep in my pocket usually all the time. Because I do think silver will be one of those things that we can turn to when the system crashes. Now, that Silver Eagle in my pocket might be way too valuable to use as money, or it might only be used for the larger transactions, like an ounce of silver will buy you a nice drivable car. Whereas today you can go down to your local coin shop and pick one up for 17, 18 bucks, a Silver Eagle. Probably 18 or 19, because as the price of silver gets lower and lower, the premiums go up and up percentage-wise. But you can find them out there still. That won't be the case forever. That probably won't be the case for very long. We are coming to this inflection point. I think the 4th of July is going to be it's going to be Trump's first 4th of July. And if there's one thing I wish on the 4th of July, because it is my birthday on the 4th of July, I wish that Trump would fire Steve Mnuchin and stop rigging the markets. He knows exactly what he's doing. The good guys know exactly what they're doing with rigging the markets. There are some signs that we are near the end of that, which would be great for the United States, great for the rest of the world. Ultimately, if you don't rig the markets, you got mass chaos too. But we have to get these bad guys out, and the only way to get the bad guys out is to take away their power. And their power lies solely in the issuance and control of the unbacked fiat monetary system. If you destroy that, you win the game. Yes, everybody's electronic blips will be destroyed, the unbacked fiat ones, not the ones that are assets like the cryptocurrencies. But you will get rid of the bad guys' power over us, and that's what we gotta do. We gotta get rid of their power over us. It will be chaotic. It'll be crazy. The good guys are still trying to foment a smooth transition out of the old system and into something new. I think if that continues to go along, we're going to see the price of silver rise, coming into the end of this year. The price of the cryptos rise, and go to the moon. But continue to rise. I really think we're at the bottom for silver, definitely. And probably the latest bottom for the cryptos, maybe a little bit after the 4th of July. So I sent out an email this morning saying that, if you're a trader, you love that the cryptos have pulled back because you sold at the top, you're going to buy at the bottom, and the big money wants to get in. If you're an investor in the cryptos, you just sit and wait. You weren't going to sell your cryptos today or tomorrow or this summer anyway. And if you're a newbie to the crypto scene, great time to get in. It's a gift. These cryptos are a gift at these prices. Silver is a gift at these prices. So I say, yeah, we're getting near the very bottom. I think after the 4th of July, when all the excitement of the 4th of July moves on, excitement in my life because it's my birthday, I'll be 53. Can you believe that? 53, that's where the gray hair comes from. I shaved the beard when people started calling me an Ewok. That was a good one, though. And yeah, it's interesting getting older and getting wiser and having been through, if you're in the commodity markets or you're in the crypto markets, you've been through these slam downs so many times in the past. Truthfully, this is when you just kick back, have a sip of tea, relax, take a cigarette. No, you don't want cigarettes. and you just relax and watch it happen and wait for the next move up. And you can tell yourself, well, maybe I'll unload a little on the next move up. Maybe, or maybe invest in another asset that's undervalued. Like I told everybody to get some physical silver, take 10-20% and put it in physical silver, because the cryptos will go way too high and then pull back way too low. And that's the way it goes, like this. So if you're thinking it's way too high, like everybody and their mother was calling it a bubble, those who took 10-20% off their gains and bought physical silver are really happy right now, although silver hasn't moved. It will move. We will get there. We'll get there when silver moves, and it does take the takedown of the bankers and the banking cabal and all that. But it's in the process. I'm not worried about that. You shouldn't be worried about that. Yes, it's been a long wait. It's been a long wait. It's been 150 years for a lot of people. Not obviously for a lot of people, but people who know the manipulation of silver has gone on so long, so much more than anybody could even have imagined. A lot of people thought it was going to end in 1980, but no, the computers and derivatives, computer programs written by Alan Greenspan in the 1960s and 70s and controlled by Greenspan most of that time. Interesting point, in the 1981-82 Gold Commission report, Ronald Reagan had wanted to go back onto a gold standard. He said, all right, we need a report. The smartest people in the world got together, monetary people, and issued a report. And the conclusion of that report is that we're not ready to go back onto a gold standard yet, but if unless we get the federal budgets under control and spending under control, the gold bugs will probably get their way. That was the conclusion of the report. And what happened after the 1982 Gold Commission report? Skyrocketing everything. There was no way in the world that there was any kind of restraint on spending or budgets or the deficit. It was exactly the opposite. And that's, the report was correct. The question is when. So yeah, they've been printing money like it's going out of style. We'll continue to do that. Trump's doing that too. Obama did it. Bush did it. All the Clintons did it, obviously. Going back, the Clintons even changed the metrics on how you determine inflation just to rig the inflation numbers. All this is horrible on people living on fixed income, on Social Security. I don't know how they survive, truthfully. And it's all due to the degradation of the money. So what we're going to see over the rest of the year is the degradation of the money, the destruction of the unbacked fiat system, probably hyperinflation in various areas, and as well as just breakdowns and deflation in areas that are totally dependent on those that feed money into the population, like the banks. So I think housing, if the banks struggle at all, the first thing they pull back on is lending out money for housing, and housing prices are going to dive through the floor if they do that, and they probably will. Right now, the housing prices are kind of holding up. Bubbles starting to pop, but I really think that if the banks stop lending, who can afford to buy a house at these prices, and they'll drop dramatically. And it was actually in Alan Greenspan's original what was it called, his thesis that he wrote for grad school. He talked about that. The one Barron's got a peek at it. I think it was called The Road to Ruta, if you ask me. And it's all about the computer rigging behind the scenes. But part of it had to do with the collapsing housing market, and we saw it in 2007/2008, and we're going to see it again because if the banks can't lend, housing prices don't go up, my friends, and it's just a fact. Who can buy a house with cash? Maybe you can buy a house with Bitcoin or silver. Bitcoin on that front, we got a big tumultuous time coming up for Bitcoin at the end of August. A lot of people saying it's a good thing. A lot of people saying, well, it's going to cripple Bitcoin as far as daily transactions, which I believe myself, because it'll be too expensive, and it's not a fix. It's a little Band-Aid. But on that note, I think the good guys are preparing Litecoin, Litecoin, LTC, to take the place of Bitcoin on the day-to-day transactions. There's a lot of signs of it that I'm seeing. Charlie Lee was the inventor of Litecoin. It's very similar to Bitcoin. There's more of them. It's just faster and cheaper. Charlie Lee just quit Coinbase. Coinbase added Litecoin, which Coinbase being the largest online wallet slash, I don't know, I don't think it's the largest exchange. It's definitely the largest online wallet. Easy to use when it's working well. And then, they're making a lot of fixes. But Charlie Lee left there to focus solely on Litecoin. And there was the rumors today that Charlie Lee is actually Satoshi Nakamoto. Is he? He might have been part of the group that is Satoshi, that worked on the white paper. And I think Alan Greenspan was part of that group as well, since he was knee-deep in computer programming since the 60s, probably the world's most premier financial computer programmer in the world by far. He invented the electronic asset, not like Al Gore invented the internet. Alan Greenspan actually blamed himself for the Y2K problem. So yeah, he was knee-deep in it, and I think he is involved in that. Remember, Satoshi has 1 million Bitcoin in a wallet that, or a couple wallets that have never even been used. And if it was Alan Greenspan and people within the U.S. government, I think they will unroll that system in a way to the people when the old system falls down, which would be great. I mean, talk about an easy transition compared to, the death and destruction of destroying the monetary system completely. But it would also destroy, introducing something Bitcoin related would destroy the bad guys, because very few of the bad guys are in Bitcoin. I think they're getting there now, so you better get yours first. But yeah, so over the next 6 months or so, I'm thinking, Litecoin is trading at around $35, and I think in comparison to Bitcoin, I think Litecoin has the potential to move up rapidly. So keep an eye on that. There's also a rumor that MIT is perfected or invented or is going to implement their Lightning protocol, which speeds up transactions unbelievably. And there's some MIT post, the countdown, on the MIT website, I believe, and it talks about a big announcement coming up for the cryptocurrencies, and it has the logo of Litecoin on it. Very interesting for all you conspiracy buffs. So if there is, and the announcement date on that posting from MIT is I think August 1st, the same day as BIP 148 is supposed to trigger potentially chaos within Bitcoin. Really exciting crypto world. Hang in there if you just bought. If you're an investor in Bitcoin or the cryptocurrencies, you just sit and wait. When do you start selling? Probably next year. Selling for what, though? That's the thing. You don't want to get into the U.S. dollar. You don't want to get into housing. What are you going to get into? It'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of... Remember, this latest pullback is solely 100% because of the popularity of Bitcoin. It got too rich too fast. And it's just traders going to buy at the bottom with both fists because they know the value is there. Absolutely. The value is there, especially if the unbacked system is falling apart. Can you imagine? Everybody and their mother would be running to the cryptocurrencies just to get their hands on something because of the degradation of the unbacked fiat system falling apart with the banks crashing and things like that. Lots to be excited about in the days and weeks and years coming at us at breakneck speed. I'm actually going to a meditation class tomorrow night because I got to chill out. I gotta relax more and enjoy the ride and all these. And Cliff High talked about these energies from space coming in, new energies from space as we move to this different part of the Milky Way. And these energies are affecting us and they're putting us on edge at a time we need to be on edge. But I'm going to try to learn some meditation to calm that down and relax. Relax! Anyway, this is Big Swear, roadtoroot.com with your talk from the greenhouse, the cold greenhouse, and I'll probably go to the store today and buy some vegetables because I can't seem to grow them. We'll talk to you later.